Good morning everyone, welcome back to Fanblade. It is the halfway point for me. This is day 5 of a 10-day build, so quick progress report. Pickup, I sanded this out in the wee small hours of the morning. That's come up very nicely, very happy with that. I am of course going to ebonize this with my logo in the corner. Body, I sort of picked up a razor blade and just started having a little scrape of the binding and just wound up doing most of it. I still haven't done the top part. That's the tricky bit, getting those curves around there. Scraping binding is one of those things that when you've started, you just kind of keep going. And I was waiting for the computer to render some video, so just got some of that done. Now, the neck. It's covered in clamps. Insert cliched finger snap cut here. So there it is. It is veneered. There's a slight curve around there. That glue appears to be holding that wood on nicely. It's a little bit unusual, but then a lot of things on this instrument are unusual, and there's nothing wrong with that. I need to cut the headstock to shape, and I woke up this morning to a commenter. Glenn Hines has suggested that for a sense of symmetry with the nut, I should flip the headstock so that angle there sort of comes down on about the same angle there. That makes perfect sense to me, and I'd already said that I was going to put 3 tuners on the treble side, and in fact I've already drilled the pilot holes on there. So I'll pop those holes back through the veneer, line that up, and that'll be my headstock shape. I was going to have to sort of play with this shape anyway, but then Glenn, great suggestion man, thank you very much. Once that's done, carve the neck. Shouldn't be too difficult. I like my necks to be between 20 and 22 millimeters total thickness, and this blank is already 21 millimeters total thickness. So yeah, basically just got to round out the sides. So that is a carved and sanded neck, and I mean, aside from the fact that it's a little bit shorter than I wanted, like that headstock My goodness me, that's come out so much nicer than I expected it to. I've got the volute directly opposite the nut. It's interesting. You can see the scarf joint on that side, but of course it's completely invisible on that side. That's just how, you can see the changing tones of the wood. That's just how it's lined up. So it looks a little bit strange. Unfortunately, that's the side that you see as you're playing it. So that's fine. I love the headstock. I was really, really concerned about how the transition was going to go, that looks 100 times better than I thought it ever could. Before I can make the bridge, I sort of need to get the neck finished so that I can actually set it in the body and know exactly where it's going to line up and where everything's going to be and what the design of the bridge has to be. Now, finishing the neck, we're right at the point where I want to ebonize the fingerboard. So I'm going to play with some inlays. I'm thinking block inlays. Maybe not that one, probably that one. Block inlays, but I want to match the angles up to match where the frets are. Now that I've gone to all of the trouble to do this and I've sliced up my pattern and very carefully got all these laid out, I've decided that I absolutely hate that. That is awful. I suppose it's one of those things you have to try it just to actually see how it looks, and just this combination of light and dark. No, I do not want that to be a permanent thing. So these are all coming off. I'm just going to do one simple little circular fan blade logo at the 12th fret. That's all. I'm going to do exactly the same circular fan blade logo on the pickup, and of course I'll engrave the logo in the headstock. It's the only ornamentation that I'm putting on here. Gone. Let's never speak of this again. That's much better. That is much better. I love the idea of block inlays, not for this instrument though. In fact, I've actually got a project coming up where I have to deal with some block inlays, but for now this is subtle, understated, dare I say elegant. Let's douse it in chemicals. Here is the jar of foul stuff, which is getting on for a couple of months old now. Yeah. You wouldn't want to spread that on your toast. Don't need that just yet. I still have to mask off the back of the neck. So I will do that, then I'll glove up, and then we'll get to play with some chemicals. The thing about finishing with superglue is that when atmospheric conditions are perfect, you have time to apply a nice even coat without it setting in your hand, but then it dries on the base in just a few minutes. And if you get on a roll with it, you can fold the finishing process into the rest of your day. For example, you can copy today's video files onto your computer, apply another coat of finish. Radius the fret wire for later, apply another coat of finish. Check your amazing YouTube comments section, apply another coat of finish. Check your tyre pressure, apply another coat. Play the operatic section of Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano, apply another coat. Eat some almonds, level the finish with 400 grit sandpaper, and crucially, vacuum the slots so that you don't glue the dust in when you apply another coat. Check your YouTube ad revenue for the week and use it to buy a double bass. And just like that, there's about 15 coats on there in the space of a morning. It is just past midday. I am going to have a break for lunch and let this properly cure. Then when I come back, all of this will be completely dry. I'm not going to sand it off. What I'm going to do is recut the fret slots. That's going to give a little lip on the side of each slot, which I will then sand that flat, get everything nice and flat, and that'll be its final polish. Alright, that is sanded out to 1500 grit. It is nice and smooth. There was a couple of little bits of chip out as I was recutting the slots. I don't know if you can see those. Of course the chip out becomes so much more obvious when you have ebonized the board. But I had to think ahead. I've got some ebony wood filler. And for anything that can't take care of, then somewhere around here there is a Sharpie. If you want to be really blunt about it, Sharpie. Right, frets. 0 fret is going to be stainless steel. This is a stainless steel fret. I know for a fact that this is a stainless steel fret. The rest of the frets I would like to be stainless steel, but AliExpress sent me some very soft stuff instead. I mean, it's not that soft. It's fine. It's not going to wear out after one show, but it's not stainless. 0 fret is definitely stainless though, so that's going to suffer quite a lot of pressure, constant, continual, everlasting pressure. Stainless. So now cutting them to lengths and trimming them and all regular fretting things, you know the drill by now. Alright, so here is where we're up to. Frets are in, the edges are filed back, it's not levelled yet, I've got to do that next. You will note that in filing the edges back, of course, I've taken off some of the ebonizing and now I have this strip down the end, which I will re-ebonize. I knew that was going to happen, and there's no way to avoid it. There's just no way to not have that happen. Going to mask everything off, level, crown, polish, peel that masking off, then I need to reapply the edging at the base of the fingerboard, and that's going to let me ebonize that strip, which I'll probably do with a little, like a cotton bud, like a Q-tip. Just very carefully just get that little bit. And then it's ready for its final sand and polish. It's currently at 180, so I'll probably just hit it with some 240 and then I can start finishing it properly. There's a couple of dribbles of super glue on it already. No big deal, it's about to get a whole lot more. But I do just want to tidy up a couple of little bits in this area. Just need a little bit more fine sanding. And then, yeah, we're nearly there. Nearly there. And with that resin poured in there, I can now call this episode completed. I've completed everything that's on my schedule to do for the day, and yes, it's all looking good. I don't normally put my logo on things that are prototypes, but I've got a good feeling that this one's going to be quite good. And I'm sure this little spider agrees. Right, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all of your amazing comments. Again, I'm getting some really, really good feedback and some really great suggestions from you lot, so just keep them coming. I love them. Thank you very much. Yes, I will see you in a couple of days. It won't quite be the Thrilling Confusion. Next time we're going to be working on the body. And then I have to think about making a bridge. So, yes, we've got a couple more videos to go. But yes, they will be coming up very soon. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I'll see you in a few days.